Watch me design and paint this graduation cap. Let's get into it. So this is an old friend of mine that wants me to do her graduation cap for her graduation ceremony. She works in the early childhood education field, and I really thought that this cap was very unique and different. As you can see, the cap has a lot to do with working with children who are on the spectrum or have autism. Very different, very unique cap, and I enjoyed creating this cap the entire time. As you can see here, I'm mixing in my dark colors for my base paint of the graduation cap. I tried to make it as accurate as possible to fit the description in the inspiration photo, and this is as close as I could get it. And I really don't know how that wrinkle got in that graduation cap. I was trying to make it as flat as possible to paint, but trust the process because I am going to cover it up with some glitter. I'm adding the glitter on the wet paint because it will stick more compared to when it's dry. Dry paint, you add glitter, it's not really gonna stick. So this was my way of getting the glitter to stay on there without falling off. Here, I'm just mixing in some vibrant colors with my base paint to paint the puzzle pieces on the cap. This was really like my own way of adding my own spin to it because the puzzle pieces were extremely tiny in the inspiration photo, and I just knew if I took the time to paint every single tiny puzzle piece, I was going to be painting the cap for days. So, I kind of did them bigger than expected, and then I went in with like some gold paint to kind of add like some popping puzzle pieces, if that makes sense, because I want it to be more noticeable. Next, I'm just going in with some gold paint and painting the outline of my puzzle pieces. I just felt like painting the outline first, and then going back in with the center would make it look more neat. Next, I'm going in with some white paint to paint the flowers on the graduation cap in the corners. They probably look a little bit bigger than expected, but this was as close as I could get to, making the graduation cap look like the graduation cap. Next, I'm gonna go in with, like just small details. Paint the leaves, paint the center of the flower to kind of get it as detailed as possible. And this is how it looks so far. Next, I'm gonna go in with some Posca markers and do my detailed writing and do my detailed designs. The Posca marker is just my outline of where I want everything to go. Once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go back in with some white paint and make the words bolder. For my detailed designs and wording and apples for the cap, I'm gonna go in with a poster board, draw out my outline that I need, and then I'm gonna go back, design it, paint everything, and then I'm gonna go back and cut everything out so that it'll fit on the graduation cap. I didn't feel like painting everything on the cap, so I just felt like, drawing it first, painting it, and then pasting it on the cap would make it look more neat, because sometimes I paint stuff immediately and then I mess up, and I didn't really want to mess the cap up. So here, as you can see, I'm just outlining my apples. I already got the first apple that I made, and instead of making them, like look different, I kind of want them to all look the same shape, same everything, because, I didn't want nothing to be uneven. Now I'm just going in with some red paint and painting my two end apples, and I'm gonna save my middle apple for the different puzzle piece design. For the word different, since the E is a little slanted, I kind of want to make that E look a little different by adding some glitter to it. And then I'm gonna add some glitter to my apples as well to, just basically give the hat my own twist spin to it, because she did say that she wanted me to add like my own little splat. Here is my middle apple that I'm gonna add the puzzle pieces to. It probably took me approximately 20 minutes to draw each puzzle piece and decorate them accurately. So once I get done with this puzzle piece, I'm gonna go in with some Posca markers, same color patterns. I don't want the apple to look too overly over the top. So I'm just gonna go in and color it with same colors to make the apple look different as it should. Now that I'm about done with my designs, it's time for me to start gluing everything on, which is the part that I've really been waiting on, because gluing really didn't take long at all. Here, y'all, I don't know what the hell I was thinking by using, like a little super glue, thinking that it was gonna stick when the whole little design just said psych. So I had to end up using hot glue. Hot glue definitely came in clutch, but I just don't like the fact that when you glue something down, it leaves like those little hot glue strings that you have to pull off everywhere. But I made it work because the hot glue definitely helped out compared to the super glue that just would not stick. Here, I'm just realigning my letters to make sure everything is fitting and everything is even without, you know, fitting off the sides of the cap. And I must say, like, after I glued everything down, it really looked good. I ain't gonna lie. It probably looks a lot, but after I put in, you know, like my words with my Posca markers and went back over it with some white paint to make them bolder, everything definitely turned out how I thought it would. Once I'm done adding my designs, I'm gonna go back in and add my finishing touches. This is how it looks so far, but I'm gonna go back in with some Mod Podge, which is basically like a clear coat gloss that goes on white, but dries clear. When I say this stuff is the truth, it seals in all of your designs to ensure everything doesn't fall off. But this is how my cap looks so far. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content. Bye.